So, first up, some sad news. Microsoft have announced that Internet Explorer is finally bowing out after 26 years. Just tragic.
Devastating.
It is. Actually, it's not devastating.
It's not.
I hate
That was
it.
dramatic.
I hate Internet Explorer
Yeah,
so
I
much.
used it by accident for the first time in a long time, like a few weeks ago, and I was like, what is this? I can't use it. Like, I need Chrome.
It's so weird how that was like the go-to, you know what I mean?
That was the height of modern technology.
Yeah. It's just so...
Is Paint gonna go or is Paint gone?
I don't even know.
I feel like Paint's gone.
I don't even know. I haven't used like a Windows thing in ages.
No.
Like, it's all about Apple now. They've got us under the monopoly and all that.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. But just thinking about that, I mean, obviously it's a bit overdue. Like, let's be honest, Internet Explorer hasn't really been a thing for like the past like decade even. I remember they used to have it as the main browser at school, and I was just like, why?
Yeah,
This is just so like bad to use. Like, just didn't like it. But I think it's just a thing of thinking, are like apps and programs, can they ever remain immortal in that sense, or are they destined to eventually fade out? Because thinking about, for example, Facebook used to be like the big thing. And now it's kind of just no one really uses it.
No.
Then you've got stuff like Skype, and they had a major chance to like proper get back into it. There's that lockdown.
Oh my god, yeah.
And they fumbled the bag, and it's gone to Zoom now. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a case of, do you think if these apps and programs adapt, do they actually stand a chance of like standing the test of time?
I think in order to stand the test of time, you have to continually review what the market is saying, basically, and kind of see where demand's at and what people want. Look at your competitors, and that's kind of where Internet Explorer and Skype fumbled the bag, innit? Like, that's why I feel like you said earlier, that these apps, well, a lot of them at least, probably won't be immortal, because it's impossible to kind of keep up with demand. And your new competitor comes in who's already seen the demand. They've got like this new brilliant idea with a really easy user interface and everything. Like, I feel like Apple has the most easiest user interface ever. Like,
yeah,
it's so easy to use.
They've changed it as well. Like, if you look at what iPhones used to look like 10, 15 years ago.
Throwback.
Yeah, and it's like, I remember each time it changes, we're always like, oh, I don't want it to change. Why is it doing that? But then, realistically, it's changing because our expectations are changing.
Yeah, your expectations of technology are so far advanced at this point. You're always expecting the faster, the better, the easier thing to use, like something that does the job easier than the thing that it did before.
Yeah.
And some companies, I suppose, won't be able to keep up with that demand. Also, one thing quickly that they need to bring back, that they've gotten rid of, is Touch ID instead of Face ID.
Yeah, but they don't have the button, do they?
No, buttons are gone. And, now that I'm... Listen, Apple...
I have a button. Yes, I have.
You got a button?
Yes,
I would
I've
kill
kept
for
my
a button, man.
iPhone 8.
I've not got a button, and I don't have a headphone jack thing. Just the charger.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So life sucks.
And we know why they've done that. Is so that everyone has to buy.
They can sell me the adapter, and I've spent about 40 quid on adapters in the last 4 years.
Yeah, they always break.
And they always break.
Yeah.
Thanks, Apple.
I think I've literally just stopped using like earphones pretty much now, like just because it's just so inconvenient. Like,
yeah, now that, like, honestly, now that I have like AirPods, or like everyone uses Bluetooth or wireless, like over ear ones and stuff now anyway.
Yeah,
there's no real need.
Nah, but like I've had mares with that before. Like, I remember like, even though this was like ages ago in like sixth form, like I was in Manchester Central Library, and suddenly
oh no,
what's it called, like Fine China by Chris Brown just starts playing out into the silence. Yeah, it wasn't great.
I would never go back to that library. I would immediately pack my things up, leave, and I would never. I don't care how much work I've got to do. I just would never. I wouldn't. Do you think about that sometimes?
Yeah.
Like before you're about to go to bed, and your brain's like, "Let me just give you that memory."
Yeah. It's my fault for like listening to Chris Brown after everything. I take the L. Yeah. Sorry, guys.
The universe saw what you did.
Yeah. I apologize.
And they said embarrass him. But in terms of like apps and stuff standing the test of time, obviously Facebook was all the rage. Everyone was on Facebook, and now it's not as relevant, nowhere near as relevant, I'd say, as it was 10 years ago. The only one, I mean, like Instagram's trendy, I can see Instagram dying out easily. Snapchat, I'd say it's on its way out.
Yeah, Snapchat's just trying. It's just always trying. But the thing is, the younger generation actually use it still. I don't understand why, but
I think
like
it is
they still are on
easy
it.
for like kids in school. Like, you know, you just send a message, it gets deleted. Like, you know,
Yeah, they
there's
like
no
the idea.
embarrassment.
Yeah, the idea of that.
The stories are easier, I think, than Instagrams are, because obviously like the algorithm kind of messes it up and stuff. So like accessibility, user like ease of access and stuff is a lot better for Snapchat, especially for younger people, I think. And also like your feed's not clogged with like celebrities, just people you know.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
The only one I could really see lasting a very, very long time, if not near enough immortal, is Twitter.
Yeah, see, people say this, but then I'm also like, surely eventually we'll want more. Because the thing is, like, Twitter hasn't been a thing for a while. Obviously, Twitter's been around, but it wasn't until like I'd say like the mid 2010s that it actually people like started appreciating it. So it's actually because it's had that bit of a delay. We're still in like obviously the peak of it. I feel like it will eventually.
Yeah, I think because we're in it now, I can't see what more can anyone want from it, sort of thing. But I think in terms of like, you know, like world news and stuff, it's so good. You get like on the ground footage of what's happening in places, especially like, let's talk about like Palestine and stuff. You're seeing stuff happening there in real time. Stuff that BBC News isn't going to show you.
Yeah.
You know, the farmers' protest, there was so much stuff that came out there. And all these like world events, when the BLM protests were happening, when there was like cases with the police here and in America, probably everywhere else in the world as well, when all the marches were happening. So there was so much stuff that you could see that was going on that the news wasn't showing you. And that's what I think Twitter is the best for.
Yeah. As long as Twitter keeps on doing what, that's the thing, is maybe not a case of Twitter advancing, but just keeping what it's doing. But that's the problem. Like Twitter's like had talks about going like private and stuff, hasn't it? So I feel that could possibly be how they end up ruining it.
Exactly. It would come down to like capitalist greed, essentially.
Yeah.
If Twitter wanted to sell out, then they would be kind of. I think there was a lot of criticism over that happening, and then the concerns over free speech and stuff, because that's obviously. Twitter is a platform for free speech, so I feel like where would it go? Like Reddit? Like
Reddit is just a mess. Like, dear. But yeah,
the new thing always is going to take over. You know, we had like brick phones, and we probably never thought that technology would go past that. I saw a TikTok, and it was Steve Jobs' first ever like conference showing like the stakeholders what the iPhone can do, and he. You remember, and it was just like an arrow on the bottom of the screen. You just swiped it across, and that's how you unlocked it. That's what he did, and everyone like they could not believe what they were seeing. And he did that, like like you know when you use your finger and like you move it from the bottom of the screen to the top to scroll.
Yeah.
He did that, and like no one could believe their eyes. And I just feel like we take that for granted.
Yeah, like there are things that we can't comprehend now that probably will be like I reckon it'll be something like sort of like maybe like a chip or something, and you can like see it with your eyes, and
do you remember the Google Glass? The Google Glasses. It was like a heads-up display, like at all times you could just see what you needed to do, I guess, or whatever they showed you. Maybe like the time of day, the weather and stuff, like crazy. Even
scary.
Now, like having Alexa and like Siri and stuff, I never had it on before because I was like, I'm just scared about the microphone thing, but they're listening anyway, regardless. So I might as well benefit.
Oh dear. I don't like it.
So now all the time I'm speaking to Siri, I always ask him questions and stuff, and it's just so easy. Like I can be like, he's gonna listen to me now if I say, but I'll be like, hey Siri, play XYZ players from Spotify, and they just do it from like the other side of the room, and it's done. I don't have to go over there, unlock my phone, and put this playlist on, as if that's hard. But
that's kind of one thing that annoys me is these people that are like, oh yeah, don't want to get the COVID vaccine because they'll be part of this massive experiment. I'm like, literally, they're listening all the times anyway. Yeah. Like I think you're already giving in to like the man, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you're kind of far gone. Like
oh well.
Now's not the time to like stick it to the man, you know, like get your vaccine.
Yeah, please do.